Hi, I'm Marie and I'm a member of the Andover Baptist Church community. And this week I've been spending a bit of time thinking about our intentions, the directions that we go in and whether we can plan for that at all. And also thinking about how the things that we do every day really impact our destination. So today is day 5 and it's our last day together. And so today I wanted to talk about faith and why faith is so important if we want what we do every day to align with our intentions about what we want to do. And also why faith is important to get us to where we need to go. Now normally, as you will have seen in the other days, I do a recommendation for a YouVersion study at the end of our time together. But today I'm going to do it right now because actually I'm going to take parts of it for what I'm going to talk to you about. So today I'm recommending a series of 5 studies, and each of the studies is between 11 and 18 days. And they're written by Rick Warren, and they're called A Faith That Works When Life Doesn't. Now, for those of you who are watching this who are Christians, you will recognise that it's easy to feel like you're really connected to God and you have a strong faith when things are going well. But it can be that much harder when things aren't. And I've chosen this study because it's looking specifically at how we can maintain and grow our faith when things are less easy. And in this series of studies, Rick Warren works through the New Testament book of James. And the purpose of his study is to help move us towards a deep and genuine faith in God, and to demonstrate, I guess, to each of us that faith is something we do. But who was James, and why do we need to listen to what he had to say? Well, James was one of Jesus' siblings, and he actually became a leader of the church in Jerusalem after Jesus' death. And he was respected for the advice that he gave people and the wise decisions that he helped the wider community of believers make. And the book of James is a collection of his teaching and advice for other Jewish believers who were living all throughout the Roman Empire. And in chapter 2, verse 22 of the book of James, he's talking about another man called Abraham, a man who had lived 2,000 years before Jesus was born, and whose story was all about being obedient to the will of God. And in that chapter and in that verse, James says to them, you see that his faith and his actions were working together, and his faith was made complete by what he did. Now, I don't know about you, but I would love for people to say that about me. And I'm only too aware that that's not always the case. And I think it's a real danger for all of us as we think about our futures or make plans for, any one area of our life, that we try and do that on our own as if it only depends on us. And Rick Warren, I think, really makes the point well that God wants us to make wise choices that are based on his guidance and through prayer. And part of faith is learning what's controllable and then trusting God for the rest. And I love that, because I want to learn that I need to commit my decisions to God in prayer, and that I need to ask him to open the doors that are right for me and to close the ones that aren't. And Nicky Gumbel, who I talked about yesterday, has said something that has really stayed with me, which is, once we do that, we need to trust that God is in control and watch in faith for him to act. And I think as we do that, we need to continue on our own way in the expectation that God will act. Now, there's a great soundbite that I've heard a few times, but I guess it's considered a soundbite because it's meaningful and impactful for people. And what it says is, if God answers yes, he's increasing your faith. If he answers wait, he's increasing your patience. And if he answers no, then he has something better for you. Now, I don't know about you, but I want my daily actions to demonstrate my faith in God. I want to commit my decisions and plans to God and believe that if I do, then I'm much more likely to do things day in and day out that mean that I'll end up in my planned destination. And if I do, I guess that will be for two main reasons. One is because that destination is part of God's plan for me, which is something that Christians believe. And two, it's because I've allowed my faith and that belief to shape my daily habits, my actions, and the way that I think. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at this topic today, and I just now want to finish our week together in prayer. Lord, I just thank you that you are with us through the good and through the bad times. Please come into our lives and change us. Help us to make wise decisions about our futures based on your guidance. And help us to bring concerns and decisions to you and then trust that you have it. Thank you for spending this bit of time with me each day. And please join us again next week for a fresh face and a fresh topic. And that's a code for saying I don't know what's coming next, but it'll be brilliant. Thanks.